Hi everyone, FT here. Welcome back to my channel. As you can see, this is a supplementary video, just the final parts of the Night Walrus build. In order to get all the cables back and put the receiver right at the back of the fuselage, I decided to cut this hatch out from the underside of the Walrus. So having done that, I then pushed all the cables to the back and added these extension cables onto every single connector that went into the receiver. I then used the fibre tape to secure the extensions onto all the servo leads so they wouldn't accidentally come apart once inside the fuselage. I then added a satellite aerial to the receiver. This satellite aerial was then velcroed to the top of the hatch I'd made and ran down the length of the fuselage, where the receiver aerials ran across the fuselage. So I had coverage in all directions with my aerials. This is a good shot. It shows all the cables sort of spewing out from the bottom of the fuselage. So on this slide you can see all the servo connections plugged into the receiver. This is the way it's going to be sitting inside the fuselage. I've taped them up just here to keep them nice and neat, and you can see all the servo extensions and connections below them. Off up to the top of the picture you can see the aerial extension that I velcroed to the top of the hatch I made, or the bottom of the hatch I made, depending how you look at it. Now, I'm really pleased with this because you can see how all the cables fit inside the fuselage at the back here. The receiver is all plugged up and velcroed to the back of a bulkhead. There's a foam bulkhead here, and I've just velcroed it to the back of it. It sits in there really nicely. Cables are all nice and tidy, and the twisted wire going off up to the top of the picture, that goes to the satellite aerial, which is, as I've said, velcroed to the underside of the hatch. Then it was just a matter of refitting the hatch. I decided not to glue it back in place, so if I ever need to get it open to get the receiver out or to mess around with any of the wiring, I can do it. It's just taped in with the fibre tape that I use across the cuts that I've made. I then reinforced it by using fibre tape down the whole length of the fuselage. With that job done, I was able to put a battery in, as you can see here in this slide, with no problem at all. Lots of space. It's now a matter of positioning the battery rearwards or forwards to get the correct centre of gravity. The C of G is 71mm from the leading edge, so I mark it with my C of G markers. I always put a peg in it. The peg allows you to feel under the wing without actually having to tip the aircraft upside down and looking. This is just the process I always go through, and there it is, 71mm from the leading edge. So here I've marked where the battery needs to be on that centre of gravity, and put some velcro into the plane. The battery then velcros into place on those marks, and you have the perfect centre of gravity. So thanks for watching, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you on another video. Cheers.